Welcome to Soveryn Podcast, the voice of independent Luxembourg.
So today in studio, we have a good friend of the podcast, Marco.
Hi.
Why don't you introduce yourself as an independent to our guests? Name, company?
Yeah, so my name is Marco Houwen. I am a freelance coach, advisor, mentor. After a long career as an entrepreneur in high tech and in tech, I decided 5 years ago, or already 6 years ago, that now it's the time to do what I really want, which is helping people, to scale their business, scale their life. And that's what I'm doing.
As a coach?
As a coach.
Fantastic. Okay. So I think we could say that the sector is coaching.
Yes, the sector is for sure coaching, but I'm not religious when it comes to the term of coaching. So this goes over advising, coaching, mentorship. I'm not a fan of mentorship because I think people don't need so much mentoring. They need more advising, like how it was done in other settings, so that they can take out of that the learning for their own environments and their own technical challenges or even marketing challenges they are having. So, and then again, it's also a lot about personal stuff. It's a lot about the fact that you need to align yourself as a person with what you're doing. And then that is more the coaching part. So yeah, I'm fluid in this.
Very good. All right. So when we want to then, let's use that as a place where we can jump off into the discussion. So for this podcast, as some of our listeners know, we have essentially two packets of questions which identify the sector and the company and the structure of services, and then about you as a person. Mm-hmm. So let's first get into it. What is the pain point that you as a coach are solving for the market?
There's several ones because I do several stuff, but let's talk about one which is I help people to align. So some people talk about work-life balance.
Yep.
For me, that's the biggest barn manure ever. There is no work-life balance.
Very good. I agree with you.
Well, very often we don't find one, but that's not what I'm talking about. It's like if you try to find a balance between work and life, you do neither the one nor the other. And you're neither happy with this and neither happy with how you're treating your family as much as you're not happy how you treat your company. So it's not about that. It's about alignment in the moment, who you are. It's about if you are negotiating the biggest deal of the century, well, please align yourself with that personality in you, with this kick-ass negotiator you are. And if you're with your kids, please be the playful dad you want to be, or mom.
So could that be, if I just jump in, does that mean that in your perspective, work-life balance could be 30% home, 70% work for a period if you are negotiating a big deal? Is that what you mean by being in alignment with each activity?
Well, that depends on how you define work-life balance. Yes, if you define it like that, saying, it's about
or the inverse.
When do you
70% family.
Yes. It's like just give the time. When you are with your family, be with your family. Yeah. What happens? When it happened to me, when I was traveling the world, when I was in Bangkok on the conference and meeting people. I felt, oh shit, I'm so far away from my family. I felt bad about that.
Yep.
When I was at home with the family, I felt, oh shit, I have so much work to do. I have so much things I still have to accomplish, but I'm not. So it's like I was never happy.
Yeah.
So, and that work-life balance doesn't give you. Because if you have 50-50, 10-90, 90-10, doesn't matter what you create for yourself, and you are not present in that moment in who you are at that moment, and who you want to be at the moment, well, it doesn't matter. Work-life balance doesn't give you anything. Yeah, no, you can say that you passed more time with the family last year or more time in the business last year. But if you feel bad about the other stuff during that time, well, then that doesn't help you. So it's really about aligning the personality you are in that moment.
So extracting from that to our next question, which is really the growth in your industry. Would you feel then that if I say where's the growth, but I want to make it a more precise question. I would say, are you seeing more people who are high performance people addressing an issue that there isn't there isn't enough time spent on work-life balance and they need alignment? Is this something that you see when you come across high performers that you potentially are coaching or working with already?
High performance people are the ones for me, and because it's all about the definition of the world. What is high performance? Huh?
Great.
High performance, high successful people are the ones who are happy in their life. Success equals happiness.
Okay.
Performance, in the end, why do we want to perform? We want to perform to have an outcome. What's the outcome?
Yeah.
At the end, we all want to be happy. We all want to have a happiness. So high performance we can achieve through this alignment. And when I coach people, that's where the misalignment lies. Very often, I coach high-performance entrepreneurs, high-performing in the sense that everybody says, oh yeah, they're amazing, they have a great company and so on, but they're awfully unhappy.
Yeah.
And now you can say, well, that doesn't matter because they are exceeding in their business. But no, they are not. They can be so much more powerful in their business if they are happy.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, we're all better when we feel good than when we feel bad. Now, some of us, we train ourselves so badly over the last years and 20 years, whatever, to become good even so we are unhappy. Mm-hmm. That's not our natural state. So if we get into that natural state of happiness, and that comes with simple questions. One of my favorite questions I ask in coaching is, who the F are you doing this for? Mm-hmm. Why do you do this? Why do you run this company?
And what's the answer that you get sometimes?
All of it's like, because I want to be rich, because I want to do this. And then very often it's because I have to.
Do they ever get into psychology and say, because my father pushed me, or because I want to impress people?
Sometimes. We always get there.
Yeah, we get there.
Because that's how it is. It's like, right, we're all dirty boys, and most of us entrepreneurs, we do what we do because at one moment in time we felt this need to impress somebody else.
Absolutely,
that's how it is.
Yeah.
And so, but that's not bad as such. Bad is it when you are on autopilot, you don't know. Mm-hmm. If you create your company and you run your company because you want to prove somebody that, or your father, that you are able to do that, and you're aware of that, that's fine because it's your choice.
Yeah.
So it has to become a choice, and if it is a choice, then you can decide, okay, I go on with it or I don't go on with it.
Yeah.
If it's not a choice, it will take over. And then you will get into logics for yourself where you overcompensate, where you do different stuff which you don't want to go there, but you go automatically there because you're not aware of the reasons why you're doing it.
Okay. Yeah. No, I see that. That's powerful. So, and would you say that in terms of growth or trends, that your ideal customer is becoming more aware of the need to get into alignment?
It's in the vibes of time. Huh? It's like everybody looks for more and more. We are looking for purpose. And we are looking for purpose. Why do I do things? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, okay, well, we all went through the Simon Sinek cycle over the last year. So start with why, that's fine. But I always say start with who and then to find the why. Who am I? Huh? And find out how can I be aligned with myself? How can I have a purpose which is aligned with myself? And the question doesn't start with why. It kind of starts with who. Who am I?
And have you ever had somebody who answered that question honestly and came to the realization that who they are is not in alignment with what they're doing and their place in the world at the moment, and they really need to make a radical change?
So yes. First of all, yes. Second, radical or not radical, it's not about radical change. It's about awareness and then adapting. Mm-hmm. I give an example of one of my customers who is a very successful entrepreneur and who scaled this company from zero himself, like an idea, then himself. Now he has 50 people working for him. And then I asked him my famous question: "Who the fuck are you doing this for?" Because you do that to have fun. To feel so great, and then we found out that he does so many stuff in his company he doesn't want to do because it's not his superpower. He cannot do that. He doesn't know how to handle that. Well, he can do it, but he has no pleasure with it. So it's like, why do we become independent? In a sense, we become independent because we want to do what we want and what we love.
Yeah, that's right.
Huh? And so if I create a company and then I start to do all this stuff because I think I have to, and I'm not doing what I really want, well, maybe you better
do something else.
Grab a job. But if I find my essence, for him, take him back to my customer. For him, it was about, I love the product. I love it. I breathe it. I dream of it. But I do still the wages. I do this. What? You have 50 people in your company. You will find somebody. I don't have anybody. Okay, let's settle down. Let's think. And we'll talk about it. And then at the end, we found one person in his company who's an amazing woman, loyal to death to the company. And he put her in the COO role. And she does that now. Now he takes care of the product. He's happy. She's happy. She loves it because it's exactly what she wants to do. Everybody's good. As an entrepreneur, we so often, or an independent, we so often think we have to do everything ourselves. There is this famous book from Dan Sullivan, and it's Who, Not How. Ask yourself the question, who can do it for me, not how can I do it? We are trained, our whole life school system trains us to find out how we can do something. It's not about how, it's about who can do it for me. Because somebody else loves what you don't love, and he does it better than you. Why should you do it? So concentrate on how you can do things for yourself, how you can become happy. The rest, find a who. Okay, so that's very good for this last part of this conversation about your activity, which is it's a concept of self-interest, and that self-interest is initially it can be seen as selfish, but it can also be the engine. It's why democracy or certain aspects of capitalism work, is because the people who make it work are invested in it. Yes.
And so the question is, what are you doing? What do you feel as an entrepreneur, as an indépendant? What is important for you going forward? What kind of investments would you be making? How are you preparing for this new future? Are you studying new parts of the market? Is there something in particular about alignment that you would like to mention?
For me, as this is a personal question, I will ask for myself. This is not what everybody should do.
Of course.
For myself.
Yep.
For myself, it's really about it's really about learning about myself and understanding how I work better. That's really my passion. And talking about selfish, that is why I do what I do. Because through my work and through every interaction, I am learning myself, about myself.
Great.
So I see when I create, because these are conversations which are very often in big flow. Yeah. I see things, I say things which I say, shit, that's really interesting. For myself, for him too, but for myself too. So it's really powerful. So for me, that's really what drives me.
Nice.
That's really what I needed to find to not get up every morning and say, why do I have to do that?
You get to do it.
Because I love to do that, because it supports my own development. So maybe something which I read in a book once, for those who know Eckhart Tolle and The Power of Now, he talked about purpose, and he said every human being has the same purpose, two purposes, the same, an inner and an outer purpose. Okay, what's the inner purpose? The inner purpose is everything which keeps you aware and creates the awareness. And the outer purpose is everything which supports the inner purpose.
Okay.
So think about that. And that can be anything, because if something brings you close to yourself, that's exactly what you need. If that is kite surfing, do kite surfing. If that is running a marketing agency, run a marketing agency. For me, it is coaching, and it's being interaction, and it's being in exchange, and so on. That's what it is for me, because it allows me to be close to myself.
Okay. Great. And so if I was to now get into a little bit about you, that's our segue about you as a person. Part of the question is, what has motivated you? But I think just from what you told me, that what motivates you, I think, if I hear this correctly, is that you get to do that which you love and that which is close to you as a person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's really about deepening my awareness of myself. It's in personal development, which I'm very deep into since a long time. You talk about change or transformation. Yeah. I'm not a fan of change or transformation. I don't think that we change. I don't think that we transform. I think that we get aware of who we are. Okay. And we get ever deeper aware. We remember ever deeper who we are. So it's not so much about, I have to change this. I have to. No. Yeah, it sounds good. It's great. It's a great sales pitch. But it is out of my experience and of hundreds of people I talk to, it's not what drives them. It's getting ever more aware of who they are, what they do, of their triggers. What triggers you? What triggers you in business? What brings you pleasure? What makes you angry? And getting aware of that. The moment you are aware of it, then you have a choice again. We talked about choice before. Then you have the choice to stay angry or to find a strategy to not be angry anymore. But if you're not aware, what can you change?
Yeah.
What do you change when you're not aware of it? So it all starts with that. And as long as you're not looking at that, and that is for me what I'm ever deepening. And yeah, it's a journey.
Very good. So on your journey, what has enabled you to go this far already? Tell us a little bit about your support system, and that can be just so much as I like to study, or I like to better, but it can also be, has someone helped you in your journey? Has someone inspired you? You talked about your family.
Yes. So many things over the years. For me, it was always about reading. It was always about the next book. It was always about the next seminar. It was about the next insight or the next tool. Now, and that's actually a little bit where I differ now, because it's not so much about the next tool. It's always about the next awareness. What do I see about myself again? Yeah. So how do I get there? It's myself. I am big into meditation, so I do a lot of meditation, and these rituals and routines I created for myself are creating this capacity of seeing my own, getting aware.
Yeah.
My triggers, and it's not always comfortable.
Sure.
It's actually very uncomfortable very often, because you honestly see very often what an asshole you are. Yeah. So let me take the you out. I see what an asshole I am.
Yeah, sure.
Be clear, not talking about you. But then again, if you see that and you are aware of it, then you have the choice. We're talking always about that, huh? So you have the choice again. And so that's what really drives me. So it's a lot of books. It's my practices. It's really my meditation practices, my support system, like that. Yes.
Yeah, great. How about a little bit of a question? Luxembourg, we badge ourselves as the independent voice of Luxembourg, partly because it was a community that hadn't been, as far as I could tell, spoken to directly with an English media. But Luxembourg itself is this very unique microcosm. Tell us, how does Luxembourg fit into your story?
I'm born here and raised.
Yeah.
so that's why I'm here. I love the country.
Yeah.
In the sense that I think we have an incredible nucleus of so many different cultures and so many different people, and it's like we speak English now, and it's not like I have to force myself to speak English, because I would say business-wise 80% of my time is English. So that's what I love. It's this different influences I am bathed in, and it's not like one thing. So that's what I really love about Luxembourg. As an independent in Luxembourg, or we can go there, but it is not an easy thing. We know in Luxembourg
it's a challenge.
Not, it's Luxembourg. Let's say it's not the most open country for independence. Yep. Because of the structure, how the work demographics are running. But then again, it's a great place to live. I live 15 minutes out of the city, and in big forests and so on, and still have every half an hour a bus into city center. It's like there's a lot of things which makes this happen. To summarize it, a friend of mine I met recently, who lived a little bit all over the world, comes from Moscow, and who said, "No, I live in Luxembourg with my family and my kids. It's the best thing." Yeah. So it's like for that kind of part of your life, it's fantastic. Yes, yes.
Absolutely. Okay, and the last big question, which we ask all of our guests, is: if you had a superpower, maybe you do have a superpower you want to tell us about, but if you don't have one, or one you dream of having, what would it be?
if I talk about a superpower, I talk a lot about superpowers with my customers, and I don't think a lot about my own superpowers. But if I would have to say what is a superpower, it's that I can connect with people, and I can connect on a level with people where most of the people are not knowing that they want to connect. So it's a layer beyond.
So does that mean like it's like an ability to reach people? Is that what you're saying?
I can reach people, and it needs different things. It needs part of compassion, your own vulnerability. So you need to, and that's something I have in me. It's something I love. That's why I do what I do. Also, it's just being there, listening. So it's like when I'm not in a coaching mode, it's really funny. I very often cannot listen. It's like I have always to talk. But when I'm in my coaching mode, it's like, okay, it's just so beautiful just to go there and to be there. So I think that's something I could see as a superpower. And then I like to create bridges. I like to create bridges for people. I see links between people where they don't see it. And I say, okay, you and you have to meet, and then okay.
That's true.
And then let's meet, and then they meet, and then new friendship has created. I don't talk about it or don't hear about it anymore, but it happened, and that's what I'm about. So
fantastic. Okay, so that allows us to conclude our discussion today, and we have to thank Marco. Thank you so much for coming and to our small studio and celebrating your work with us and your achievement as an independent. We look forward to having you back. I hope it's not the last time we'll see you here.
Great.
Thank you.
Looking forward to that. Thank you.